Hi, welcome to another episode of the AI People, where thinkers and builders share their stories of how they are humanizing AI. Today, we have with us Kshitij, um, who is a data science student and is aspiring an interesting career in AI. Kshitij, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Vivek. So I'm Kshitij, and I've been in the data science space for around 5 years now. I started off my career by working as a management consultant before with this firm called ZS, and I actually recently graduated from the applied data science program at U Chicago, and I'll be starting soon at Blue Cross Blue Shield as a data scientist. So yeah, I've been in this space for 5 years. Absolutely love it, and I think this is one of those spaces which has been moving so fast for the past a decade or so now that like every day something new comes up, and yeah, we can discuss all we want here today.
That's awesome. And I remember we met for the first time at one of the tech summits here organized by the students.
Yeah.
And I asked a question about generative AI to the panel like six months ago when it was like still hot.
Yeah.
And after that we connected and we did talk about some of the projects that you were working in traditional AI and generative AI. So why don't you talk to us about some of the projects that you worked on that gave you a good sense of how AI can be applied to solve real world problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing right now is AI is everywhere. It's there in every domain. I personally worked in a lot of marketing domains, and marketing, as we know, is a very quant-heavy subject as such. Like you always have data, you always have metrics. I was working on a project recently where we're trying to understand how different spendings into different marketing channels can help us optimize how many web traffic or how many new users we are gaining on our websites, and basically like how can we strategically put more money into specific channels to yield the maximum output from them. So I've been working in a lot of marketing projects throughout my career, and I think that's one of the more traditional use cases of AI. Like AI has been around for 10, 15 years now. We just don't know it, we just don't call it, but all of this machine learning has transformed into AI, and now things and systems are developing around us. So yeah, I personally worked in a lot of traditional AI marketing projects, and over the past 1 year, like generative AI is the new thing where everyone is talking about it, and I did get a chance to talk about that, to work on that as well.
That's great. I know I saw a post from you on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You talked about a project that you worked on as part of your school experience,
Yeah.
and you got some really good recognition from your peer group. So do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, like I was in University of Chicago for the past like 15 months or so now. I started my data science program in September, and in December the entire data science industry changed in itself. And I feel like I was very lucky that I was in a position where the industry was changing, and because I was in a school in a learning environment, I had an opportunity to like dabble with it a bit and just see like what's happening. So over the past 9 months, I was working on a research project with the University of Chicago around using generative AI applications. The project which I was working upon is called Hewick.ai. Hedwig, as you know, is the owl from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
And what Hedwig does is like it sits like a watchful owl on top of your inbox. It sees any new incoming email, it tries to understand that, and it'll pre-write a draft for you. This problem seems very simple in the beginning and just from the outlook that okay, we're just trying to reply to an email, but like because I was a consultant before, I knew like on average you can get around 300 to 400 emails per day, and you might not just have a chance to view it properly or like and reply to it in a app timeline. And it's a big concern because like there's so much confidential information in those emails that you need a more active, robust system. So Hedwig as a tool, it sits on your Gmail, it sits on your Outlook. It'll see any new incoming email, it'll try to understand context around the email, so it will go to your past threads, see what conversation has happened around that. It'll try to see like what's your general writing style, how do you write, are you a more professional writer, are you a more business casual writer. It also sees the hierarchy, like you will reply very differently to a CEO versus to a new intern, and how much depth, how much nuance should go into every email. So Hewick, like we built a generative AI framework, which basically sees an incoming email, and it will always pre-write a draft for you. It will never send it out. You have to go check it, but it will write a draft for you.
Got it.
Yeah.
So AI has been here for a while, right? It's some multi-year research that culminated in some of the powerful applications like ChatGPT, for example. That's when it surfaced top of the mind of everyone.
Yeah.
So can you give us a sense of where we are today with respect to generative AI applications? What is state of the art? Some of the use cases that you are seeing. I know in your application, Hewick, you are trying to generate content given the context of the incoming email, and you're also summarizing some information that you may already have about that particular person or the interactions that they have previously had, right? So what do you think is trending right now when it comes to generative AI applications?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like relaying what you said, like, generative AI has been here for a long, long time. Like the research has been here for 10 years or so. But till now, the focus was on modeling, like how the models being built. Right now, we are at a stage where a lot of applications are coming up. I think one field which will benefit tremendously from generative AI is legal tech. Legal, just by the nature of the field, it has huge amounts of contextual and textual data, which it's humanly impossible to pass through. But if you are able to translate that textual data into the binary format which the LLMs understand, the text formats which they understand, you can have like your own personal legal assistance. The judiciary systems can be fast-tracked a lot. The evidences can be collated in a much faster way. I feel that's like a domain which is on the precipice of a new like revolution right now, especially because legal has been the same since like 1950s. We are following the exact same process. US follows the exact same jury process, and I feel like there's a big transformation which can happen here in legal. And the second one, which always is very important and very inducive to take, is finance. Finance, again, a very text-heavy industry, a very number-heavy industry, and you have companies who are trying to build more financial bots which can like talk to you, which can help you with their financial queries. Bloomberg came up with their own Bloomberg GPT, which was extremely famous and slightly controversial at the same time. So I feel legal and finance are the ones which are almost on like a lot of work has been going into this, and we can see like very conclusive results in the next 2 years or so itself. And then right now, generative AI is all about text. Generative AI, the other component is vision, and when vision picks up more face, like we are seeing all the photos and videos which are being generated, but like even like medical imagery, that can be impacted a lot as we go further, but with the vision aspect of generative AI.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah, these three I feel are the most hot applications right now.
Yeah, it's impressive to see how some of these traditional industries like legal, finance, with like a lot of manual processes can potentially be transformed with generative AI. I'm also curious to know more about how generative AI can be democratized. How can we put these powerful capabilities in the form of toolkits to developers, builders, so that they can build AI applications and bring those applications faster to the market? So do you see any trends shaping there? I know in the start of the mobile revolution, we saw app stores emerging, and developers were creating their own applications, bringing them faster to the market. Do you see something similar mimicking in the generative AI application space?
Yeah, absolutely. And like two things are happening in parallel here. For the developers, new tools are coming. So it's earlier it would be such a hard task to connect, to download a model to a local system, to run the model, to get something output. Right now we are continuously getting new packages. Like there's a very nice tool called LangChain, and I recommend it to everyone. LangChain it makes it so easy to connect to an LLM and then start using its power very fast. You have LangChain, we have Lava Index. So for developers themselves, a lot of new toolkits are being developed so that the the tricky part of building the model, that's left to the bigger organizations, right? You have your Metas, you have your OpenAIs, you have your Anthropics who are making who will be doing most of the modeling part. But then you have these toolkits which provide an interface to all these mathematical models and how we can like start building applications out of them. So from a development side, from a developer side, already a lot of SDEs, a lot of toolkits are coming in the market, and they'll just be coming more. Like everyone wants a piece of that. Databricks is doing a lot of work with LLMs, how they're integrating LLMs into their own environment, and how like developers can start working with it. So this is from a development perspective. From a consumer perspective, so OpenAI released this GPT Marketplace recently. So for example, if you like to make Indian food a lot, right, you can take the OpenAI model, you can feed it recipes of Indian food, you can feed some questions, and you can have your own like Hewick Chef GPT, which can help you like how to make a dosa, how to make a pancake, anything which you prefer. Right. And this is an interesting point. So OpenAI has been amazing at marketing its product. Right? Like they built a first version, like a stable version of the product, and the first strategy was like, okay, roll it out, let's see how it happens. And they've come up with this own GPT Marketplace now, which sort of mimics how like the Apple came up with the App Store 10 to 15 years back. And this is where like true adoption will happen. Like if people are getting comfortable, if you're seeing like different GPTs being built, like you can have your calculator GPTs, you can have your Chicago course GPT, which can just, so basically it's the same model which is being plugged into different data sets, and then like you get your own custom tailored version for that. I think that's a very interesting, like we can see a future where LLM powered applications take over like the current traditional form of applications, and like that will be an interesting area to see for sure. So yeah, developers have a good time right now. There's a lot of new progress happening from a technology side. You're getting new tools every day. But simple, like a non-coder person can also like start going and using these amazing models and see like what application are they useful for. So it's a great space. It's been moving very fast, too fast at times also. So right now it's a wild west, but for sure like as you go further there will be a lot of consolidation. There'll be like a lot of strategic winners and losers, and like this is how like the industry will advance, I feel.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me that 2023 is more of the year for generative AI foundational capabilities to come to maturity, and then 2024 sounds to me as a year when generative AI applications will see mass adoption, thanks to the foundation capabilities now becoming available to the developers and builders to innovate, come up with applications to solve real challenges. So Kshitij, finally, what would be your like top advice or suggestions for people who are looking to develop generative AI applications this year?
One will be, don't be afraid of it, and like because like these are like heavy resource intensive tasks. So like for example, if you want to train if you want to like fine tune another model, that costs money, that costs GPUs and stuff. So start simple, look for like simpler solutions, start playing with these. Like if you're a developer, don't just use the OpenAI framework, see for other open source framework and see like how you can build different things using it. There are a lot of open source models which don't cost anything, which are like of great use, and you can build a lot of good stuff with that. So start like building, start tweaking around things. Yeah, that's for the developers, like how they can start building different applications, and like start learning about. There's a lot of good content coming out. Like Andrew NG releases a lot of good courses by deeplearning.ai. So if you want to start learning those, it's a great platform to get into. And for a non-coder environment, be aware that this is happening. Like it won't be, like it's not just a tech thing which is happening, it's a business thing which is happening. Like you'll see a lot of business implications into it. You're already seeing like a lot of companies are trying to automate their coding task with it. So there's a lot of useful use cases. So just be like aware of what's happening, and the space is moving really fast. So you also need to move really fast to catch up with it.
Great, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Fantastic, and thank you so much, Kshitij, for being with us today, and wish you all the very best with your career.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah. I think that was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel?
It was nice. Yeah.